Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I'd do another one of my carving tips videos today. And what I wanted to talk about was carving in bowls, whether it's for an actual bowl or for a spoon or something like that. Now I've got two blanks here. As you can see, I've pre-marked them up. Hopefully that's picking up on the camera there okay. And what I've done is I've pre-marked the bowls in both of these. One of them I've roughed out into a very vague spoon shape. The other one I've left as a solid blank. Now, there are two schools of thought on this. Basically, what a lot of people suggest is that you do the bowl in your spoon, or a bowl for that matter, first. The reason being is having the amount of material that you've got to sort of work with and move around and hold and things like that just makes it a lot easier. And that's really sort of the tip for today, is if you were to make a spoon similar to this, but you were to sort of finish off the handle, finish off the underside of the bowl, you've then got very, very little material to sort of hold on to and grip while you're trying to carve the bowl in. So that's why this is about as far as I will take a spoon blank. And there's two things that I will use personally. One is this. Now this is just a standard spoon knife made by a maker named Ben Orford, who's quite well known in carving circles. Very, very nice tools, really, really good quality. And the second is this, which you may have seen in some of my other videos. This is a Twicker cam. This is made by a chap named Nick Westerman, who again is also a very well respected tool maker. And depending on what I'm making will depend on which of these I use. Now for something like the spoon knife, keeping it in a solid block like this is actually more useful. It gives you lots more grip, you can keep your fingers out of the way, and then you can start carving. Alternatively, something like this, which is obviously a lot bigger, actually doesn't really lend itself to a big block, because you use your fingers that you're using to support the piece to actually push and guide the Twicker cam a little bit. So what I'll do, guys, I'm going to move the camera just a little bit closer in, and I'll just give you a quick demonstration of what I mean. Right then guys, well hopefully you've got a fairly good view of what I'm doing. So this is the smaller spoon knife, and again with this large piece of wood here, you know, I've still got a lot of waste wood on the outside, and it gives me a really good grip with this hand. My fingers are out the way here, my thumb, and I can bring this down so it's a little bit safer here. I'm actually more comfortable carving like this. The risk there, obviously, especially if you're new to carving, is if you slip, this very, very sharp tool is going to hit the sort of the fleshy part of your thumb, and that's really not an injury you want to get. So if you are new to carving especially, I would actually rest the piece on the top of your thumb. Again, this is a bit of a do as I say, not as I do, but again I'm fairly used to carving, and I'm confident in what I'm doing. And basically all you'll do is you'll take this spoon knife, and what you're trying to do is kind of a sweeping motion here. And you're not taking what a lot of newcomers to carving struggle with, is they're expecting to sort of take out great swathes of wood as they're carving, and that's not what these are designed for. They're actually designed to take away fairly small, thin shavings. I'll see if I can get one to stay on here so I can just give you a demonstration. So that there is the thickness of shaving that I'm taking off. Now you can take them off a little bit thicker, but you need to bear in mind is that the amount of pressure you're putting on here will affect what happens if you were to slip. And also the lighter approach that you take, the more controlled you're going to be, and you're not going to hit a hidden knot or a bit of sort of dodgy grain in the wood that is then going to sort of split out and ruin your work. So again, that's exactly what I would be doing in this situation. I've got a really, really nice controlled piece of wood in my hand, so that basically I'm not going to be messing this up. I'm not worrying about where my fingers are. I'm not at any risk of cutting myself. And again, the benefit of this is also when you come to flip over and you're working on sort of this side of the spoon where you've got the, you know, when the handle is pointing this way, you know, you've got plenty of room, no problem. If this was a finished spoon and I flip this round, I'm then literally just trying to hold on to a very small bowl area. Now I'm right-handed, so I use my right hand for my tools, and I use my left hand to hold the work. And again, very, very first spoon that I made, and this was something I learned very, very quickly, I'd finished the entire spoon before making the bowl. It was just the way I happened to do it. Nobody had shown me the right or wrong way of doing anything, and it made sense to me at the time. I'm not quite sure why, but in my untutored brain, that seemed like it made perfect sense. And what will happen very, very quickly if you do it that way is you'll realise you'll have a lovely looking spoon, and unfortunately you will end up struggling to find something to actually hold on to. And if you can't grip it in the area that is most comfortable to you, you're going to be struggling. If I try to hold this down here and then I try to do that, when it's possible to do it, it's no problem, but there's nothing supporting the top of this, so it does move around more. So really you want to get a good grip close to where you're carving, and you've just got a lot more control. It's obviously a lot steadier. Now I'm not going to completely finish this bowl for the purpose of this video, I'll do that later, but you can see there I've made a fairly good start on that bowl. And then moving over, again, even with this blank here, you can use a spoon carving knife quite nicely. There's still enough material around the outside to give you a good grip. Now if I go to use my Twicker cam, that's where this becomes a bit problematic, because this piece of wood here, it's just a little bit too wide for me to be able to use these fingers to actually guide it with any great degree of accuracy. So if I'm going to be using my Twicker cam, and that's what I tend to use now for my spoons, it's not a piece of kit that a new wood carver would generally have. It's something that I think most people, if any, would gravitate to over time. But again, with something like this where the actual stock material is a lot narrower, I can now use, I'm trying to get this in a good shot for you guys, so I can use these fingers to guide the Twicker cam through this. And again, I'll just take a couple of minutes. I may speed through this footage, it might make it a little bit more bearable for you guys, but I'll show you the difference between what you can do with a Twicker cam and a spoon carving knife in just a couple of minutes. So there we go guys, that's just a few minutes worth of work. Hopefully you can sort of get an idea of the depth and the impression there. And just to give you the contrast, same amount of time when I was using the just the standard spoon hook knife, the spoon knife, big difference between the two of these. And again, you know, as I say, the Twicker cam is more of a specialist tool, but you do get very, very good results. Right then guys, well I hope that was useful. Just another quick tip from me: if you are carving spoons, put your bowl in first. It does make life a lot easier later on down the line. Same thing if you're making bowls. You know, you can make your complete bowl shape out of a piece of stock material, but if you don't put your bowl in first, you're going to struggle clamping it down or holding onto it while you're trying to scoop that out. So anyway guys, comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks guys.